The Growing Destinations podcast is brought to you by Experience Rochester. Learn more about Minnesota's third largest city, which is home to Mayo Clinic and features wonderful recreational and entertainment opportunities by visiting experiencerochestermn.com.
Joining the USL was a goal of ours, and we've always had our eyes on this for the reason that we want our youth to have the opportunities that we did not have, right? We want our youth to have a goal of being able to play pre-professional soccer as they're out of high school, as they're in college. So then they're already getting exposed to this high level of soccer and professional coaches that could recruit them to that pro level.
I know the youth level is going to take us a little while, but we're not giving up. We just want to show the Rochester surrounding areas that there is potential here. There are opportunities here, and we're not going to run away. We're only going to grow, and for the benefit of all of us. Rochester is an awesome town. I think it needs something like this, especially on the women's side. We added the women's side. That came out of nowhere, actually. It was not planned, but it happened, and we are so happy about it.
Welcome to the Growing Destinations podcast, where we take a deep dive into destination development and focus on a wide range of topics, from tourism and entertainment to economic development and entrepreneurism, and much more. I'm your host, Bill Von Bank. Soccer is a growing sport, and my guests today are leading the charge in southeast Minnesota to expand its reach. Muharem Dedic, or Mo, and Midhat Mujic, or Mido, are Bosnian immigrants who, along with their families, left war-torn Bosnia more than 20 years ago and settled in Rochester, Minnesota to start a new life. Mo and Mido met each other through soccer and became friends and business partners. And in 2018, they started a soccer club called Rochester FC. Through that club, they are now bringing the highest level of pre-professional soccer for men and women to the greater Rochester area through a partnership with the United Soccer League. Midhat Mujic, Muharem Dedic, welcome to the Growing Destinations podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So Midhat, I believe you go by Mido.
Correct.
So in this interview, we will call you Mido. And Muharem, Mo. You both emigrated from Bosnia to the United States more than 20 years ago. Tell us about that journey. Mo, let's start with you.
Sure. Back, I don't know if you're familiar, but not with where we come from. We had a nasty war in the 90s. And then we got displaced, chased out from our country. We went as refugees to Germany for 5 years. We never really settled. We moved around. So
Throughout Europe?
Through Germany.
Just Germany, okay.
We mainly stayed in Germany.
Okay.
Yeah. And war stopped. And then my dad decided to go back because he was homesick. And then we went back for a year or two. And after the war, it wasn't a right choice to do, but we did. And luckily, he had family. He had his brother here.
In Rochester, Minnesota, or?
Actually in Texas.
Texas.
Yes, Arlington, Texas. So to the family, we established a connection to the embassy, and then they brought us over here. And that's how we actually landed in Rochester.
When was that?
99, September 9th, 99.
Mido, same question for you. What brought you to the United States?
The same situation for us. We didn't go to Germany or anywhere. Actually, our family just bounced around in Bosnia. We lost our home during the war, so there was nowhere for us to. Yeah, so there was nowhere for us to kind of go. So my family decided to take a chance and come to the States. My dad had a cousin in the area who recommended Rochester as a fantastic place for a family and growing a family in education, and Mayo being one of the best hospitals. It was a good place to kind of start a family.
How old were both of you when you came here, Mo?
I was 18.
18?
I was 10.
10, wow.
Yep.
So pretty young. So you really grew up in Rochester.
Yeah. Yep.
As you settled in Rochester, went to school here, tell us a little bit about growing up in Rochester and the activities you did. And I know you're big soccer players, so I believe you played quite a bit and still do soccer. Mido?
When we came here, I had no knowledge about soccer, no knowledge about the area. We spoke no English. We learned it through watching TV and stuff. So I really didn't get involved in youth sports until middle school, about, I think, 8th grade. And that was because one of my teachers at that time saw me playing outside with, kind of rec with some kids. And he noticed that I had a talent. And then he reached out to one of the coaches. And from that point, I played for the Rochester youth system. That's how my soccer kind of started.
Well, how about you?
Well,
you were older when you came here.
8 years older. But my whole soccer life started back in Germany as a refugee. As kids, we were just, in a refugee camp where we spent 5 years. I mean, it was just a ball, street, and nothing else really. And school, of course. But you struggle with the language, so people helped us a lot there. And through school, I started playing. And Europe is a little different. The whole setup around soccer and stuff, they have scouts through the schools, through the whole system. And one of the guys approached me and he saw, a little talent in me, and then brought me to a super top academy level or club. And that's how everything started.
When you came to Rochester and you were 18 years old, did you know any English?
A little bit, actually. I actually, first 6 months, I ended up in the ESL class at Century High School, and that was it for me.
You both fell in love with soccer, and you played throughout your career. Tell us a little bit about that part of your lives early on, post-high school.
Yeah, so for me, I played for Mayo High School. It's tough to get college recruiting in the area. A lot of the, if you want to play college, you have to reach out to colleges to kind of recruit you, right? So initially, I didn't even consider it. I was approached by St. Olaf, but then I decided to go to Hamlin University.
In St. Paul?
Yes, yep. Because we had a friend that actually went up there before, and he's like, hey, you should go to this college because it's really good. So I ended up there for a year. I didn't like the city life, so I ended up at St. Mary's University in Winona. And I graduated from there. And then right after that, I ended up playing for some NPSL teams. Then I went over for Finland and Sweden for a little bit. And then I came back. When I played for Minnesota United, I think it was in 2018. And then after that, I think we had our kid. So I decided to call it on the travel back and forth all the time. And that's when Med City started in the area, so I ended up playing for them.
We'll have Mo play catch-up, and then we're going to talk about how you two became business partners.
As I brought it up earlier, soccer was my life, to be honest. I had 5 awesome years in Germany. I was ready and fit maybe to become a pro, actually. And then my dad, as I said, decided to move back. It was tough for me, because at that age, you either make it or not. I was 16. I went back and I played actually in my hometown for a first team with 16. I was the youngest captain ever. They sent me actually a book. I was all-star ever, with 16. I mean,
it's impressive.
I was ready. I was ready for top level, and then. Again, my dad decided to move to the U.S. and brought us over here. And then I was actually involved through the years in Rochester, starting right away. I was hungry for soccer. I thought, this might be it here, maybe a chance. But I had 2 biggest injuries that can happen to a soccer player. I was 18 and 19. So with 18, ACL, and meniscus. With 19, the left ACL. So my both knees went out. Bad injuries, tried to recover, and I played for the PDL team here in town. And that was actually a wing of Minnesota Thunder back in the days. I was there for a year. And then I played through MASL, Minnesota Amateur Soccer League. They had 4 divisions. So that was a top division. The Division 1, so I played there. And then I was involved at the Bosnian community club in town here for many, many years. So I ran that club for many years. Even Mido was part of that when he grew up and he was older.
Well, you've both settled in Rochester. You both have young families and careers. And in 2018, you became co-owners of the Rochester Football Club, football meaning soccer. What motivated you to start Rochester FC?
When I played for Med City, we had quite a few of local guys. The opportunity for them to play kind of went away second year. I think there was a transition in coaching and staff, and for me, it was important to showcase local talents, and I wanted the opportunity to give players in our area the opportunity to play at a high level. And I did research, and we found out that the UPSL was an opportunity for us. I've known Mo for a long, long time, and we played, with the Bosnian club, and with his background and talent and business knowledge, he was kind of the perfect partner for this. So we had a meeting, and I think it was behind his house next to his pool. We sat down in chairs, and I brought a couple of papers. I was like, Mo, what do you think about this? And then we started talking. We're like, well, he wanted to push on the youth academy because of the development, and maybe you can expand on it.
Back again, going to Germany, I was the happiest kid, and I saw how club itself functioned from the youth up all the way up to the first team. And my dream was always to have something close to it, where we as a club or as a club owners, where we can work on with local kids to give them opportunities to grow up being a good person first, and then athletes as second. And I always wanted to push that, and Mido was just the right choice, I guess, and we decided to go ahead with the UPSL.
Who do you serve with the club?
So the youth side's it's actually the toughest to kind of grow. So we've been working on it since 2018, and initially for us it was just recruiting kids on our own, kids who have never played soccer, due to financial reasons, or just never, family was just not supportive enough for them to do that. So we did a lot of personal recruiting back then, and we found amazing kids, and we started a team, with just the boys side. I believe at that time it was 14-year-olds, 14 through 16. And then through the couple years, we've focused on them. And just last year, we ended up having 2 girls teams, 15 through 18 years of age. And then this year, we also have boys U13 and U11 team. So we're growing slowly, but it's hard to recruit kids, I think, because they're playing with their friends and they're not looking to move at the moment.
This past summer, you made a significant announcement that greatly impacts Rochester's standing in the soccer community. Rochester FC is the newest club to join the United Soccer League, USL, pre-professional leagues with both the USLW Women's League and the Men's USL League 2. What are the benefits to Southeast Minnesota of bringing this level of soccer to Rochester? It's a high-level soccer.
It's very high. It's the highest pre-professional league in the nation. It's a top league, well-respected league. For us, it was important to take the step because of our past experiences with personally not being recruited by colleges, not being able to have an opportunity to go to that next level. Right, joining the USL was a goal of ours, and we've always had our eyes on this for the reason that we want our youth to have the opportunities that we did not have, right? We want our youth to have a goal of being able to play pre-professional soccer as they're out of high school, as they're in college. So then they're already getting exposed to this high level of soccer and professional coaches that could recruit them to that pro level. And that's something that we did not have. So for us, that was important.
Greater development for youth, Mo?
Absolutely. Those are the reasons actually why we added both teams on top. Just for the youth to have a goal. They should have ladders, climbing the ladders. The highest should have been pre-professional, maybe professional in a year or two after they join the pre-professionals. So those are those are the things that we provide actually in town here and surrounding areas. And I know the youth level is going to take us a little while, but we're not giving up. We just want to show the Rochester surrounding areas that there is potential here. There are opportunities here, and we're not going to run away. We're only going to grow, and for the benefit of all of us. Rochester is an awesome town. I think it needs something like this, especially on the women's side. That we added the women's side. That came out of nowhere. Actually, it was not planned, but it happened, and we are so happy about it.
Well, give us the backstory on bringing USL leagues to Rochester. How easy of a decision was it, and how long did it take?
For us, it was an easy decision to make due to the professional level there it's at and how it's run by the league, how it's organized, the support you get from it. So it was an easy decision. Financially, we did have some, back and forth because it is a financially, it's a huge commitment from us. But it was a perfect move, and at the right time for us.
I want to spend some time focusing on the women's club because the USLW is new, and the Twin Cities, Minneapolis, St. Paul, had an incredible debut with the Minnesota Aurora in its inaugural season this past year, going all the way to the championship final, but unfortunately losing out. But what a year. Average home game attendance for the Aurora totaled more than 5,500 fans. They will now be a competitor for you. Give us your perspective on this phenomenal season for the Twin Cities, Minnesota, benefiting from that and how that can be a springboard for your new league.
All sports are played because of fans. They're surviving because of fans. Looking at these numbers, I mean, you tell me, you won't find a kid around here that's not willing to go out there and play in front of 5,000-6,000 fans. That's our goal too, but not now. Soccer is being played because of the fans. And looking at these numbers are phenomenal. I mean, reading and looking, on social media, of course, we research, our teams that we're going to play, and we are so excited, to face them. I mean, it's unbelievable. And especially for local kid to go up there and play in front of so many people. I mean, that's a dream come true.
Mido, how about you? Give us some perspective.
Yeah, so I'm with Mo on this. The fans is just it's a different atmosphere, and when you've played in front of, not even that many, but if you've played in front of a good crowd, it's different for the players. So for us, like they're well organized. They've done well this past year, internally and with, on the field, off the field. I just saw that they actually got their mascot, which is a huge congratulations to them. That's a huge step for us. We want to replicate, and hopefully we can outdo them. But that's a goal for us.
It's a positive sign to see so much energy in the inaugural season for the USLW.
Yeah, I mean, women's side is growing, men's side is growing, and for them to have 6,000 fans on average per game, that's huge. That just shows the support there is for soccer, for women's soccer. So amazing.
You announced this new affiliation with the USL in early July. Now what? Because both the men's and the women's league, they take the field in 2023. What happens now?
It's a lot of work on our end. So we're, connecting with businesses, connecting with colleges, connecting with players, finalizing our tryout dates. We're doing a lot of research, a lot of work on the back end to have a successful season. So we've got our, dates set up for our tryouts. We've got connections to D1 colleges. We've got connections to D3, D2 colleges as well. So, and then we've also been recruiting on the high school level for girls. So we've gone out and watched some high school games to see where our girls are, at that level. So, because like I said, our goal is to be local. So we want to, make sure that we've got some girls and boys that can compete at that level.
You mentioned earlier, this is a big investment, financial, of course, and people. How will you measure its success?
By attendance, to be honest. As I just talked, it's all about the fans. You have fans in, you'll have better marketing, better things in general, It looks better. You can sell more to businesses, by going and saying, hey, look, our games, they are attended by so many thousands of people, It's easier for marketing part as well, It's the attendance that clubs survive by, and marketing, of course. But you won't get that. They both have to click to be successful.
When do the seasons start for the men and the women next year in 2023?
We're looking at April.
For both?
Yeah, probably towards the end of April. I think we're in a different situation than most states because of, the snow in Minnesota. So we're limited to outdoor stadiums. So for us, we're looking at end of April to kind of kick off, and then it'll go probably till the end of July, early August.
I was at the press conference when you announced this big opportunity for Southeast Minnesota, a lot of media in attendance, and you also unveiled a new crest. Tell us about the new logo that I'm right now staring at as we're talking.
When we had our other logo, we wanted to build a logo around the city of Rochester, the community, and that's where the loon came in, the state bird.
Right.
We had Rochester Football Club on there. The year was started in 2018. And then, they had the cityscape, I think, on there for Rochester. So, moving into the USL League, we wanted to modernize that a little bit. So we recreated the logo. We had a professional designer there out of England do that work for us, and they did a fantastic job. So the modern loon is in the center. We've got Rochester FC up top, and then Minnesota on the bottom, kind of representing the state, the city, and then the loon. We also added Minnesota for a specific reason. It's kind of interesting because Rochester Football Club, there's a few Rochester football clubs out there. Australia, New York, multiple areas. And I've gotten multiple phone calls from Rochester, New York. Hey, when is your game this Friday? We don't have a game this Friday, right? So including the Minnesota part will kind of hopefully eliminate that, not to get confusion. So in the loon, you've got the eyes. So instead of the eye, we did the yellow star to kind of give a shout out to us as owners and as Bosnian owners, to the Bosnian flag, which is, they've got this yellow stars.
It's a great looking logo, by the way.
Thank you.
Thanks.
How do you bring the community along with you as you build this new club?
For us, the work that we've done, reaching out to businesses, reaching out to schools, reaching out to everybody is to kind of make them aware that Rochester Football Club is here. And we're here for the long term. We're not here for a year or two. It's going to decades and decades. And hopefully when me and Mo move on, there's definitely Rochester Football Club is still around. So we want to expose the club to the city. And we think, as Mo mentioned, by bringing in attendance and, bringing in entertainment. Soccer is entertainment. If it's done right, people will come out, enjoy the game. They'll support the players on the field, which we're hoping a lot of them are going to be local athletes. So by having that, and then on that, top of that, our city is going to benefit because anybody that's a sponsor of Rochester Football Club, they sponsor the club, but they also sponsor the youth. That gives us an opportunity to give scholarships to all the youth in the area. So that's how we get our funds to give scholarships to youth who can't afford it. And then on top of that, they get the advertising during games. So they get banners, they get flyers, they get brochures. So when fans come out, I think everybody benefits because the businesses benefit by the advertising. Now people know who this business is, that business is. The fans, the community benefits because now they're seeing our local athletes competing on a top pre-professional level against Minnesota Aurora or Chicago or Springfield. And then the youth benefit because they get the support from the community and they're able to play the sport they love in front of family and friends in the area.
Mido and Mo, it's been great to have this conversation with you. It's fun to hear about this new enterprise and how you're building it in real time. Congratulations on your most recent success with the announcement of your affiliation with USL, and best of luck in the 2023 season.
Thank you very much.
Growing Destinations, thanks for having us.
Thank you for tuning in to the Growing Destinations podcast. And don't forget to subscribe. This podcast is brought to you by Experience Rochester. Find out more about Rochester, Minnesota and its growing arts and culture scene, its international culinary flavors, and award-winning craft beer by visiting experiencerochestermn.com.